What's up, you guys, and welcome to the official podcast of Education Thoughts with Damian Anderson. So listen up. This is an education podcast where I will give you 100% real, honest, and authentic truth in every single episode. From what's happening in the educational world to interviewing guests and sharing life stories relating to education. I got you covered. So join me on this journey of exploring the education life together with me. Hello everyone, what's up to all of you guys? Welcome to this introduction of my new podcast called Education Thoughts with Damian Anderson. Yes, this is my new podcast now. I currently got 3 podcasts now. So welcome everyone to Education Thoughts with Damian Anderson. I am, of course, Damian Anderson here. And yes, this is my new podcast, everyone. I have transferred my YouTube show, my YouTube series, into a podcast because I just love podcasts so much and I want my voice to be heard to all of you guys around the world, as you guys have been joining me on my very first podcast, Future Educators Talk, with my co-host Andrew Fred. So this is, you guys, welcome to Education Thoughts with Damian Anderson. Now, why did I created another podcast, you guys? Why did I transfer my YouTube show into a podcast? Why just didn't leave it as a YouTube show? Well, I wanted to expand that. I wanted to expand what I was doing on my YouTube show into a podcast because, like I said, I love podcasts so much and I want my voice to be heard now since I am literally speaking more. Quite now, I feel more confident as I was since throughout my school careers. As some of you guys may know, of course my classmates know, that I am shy, but I am overcoming that shyness ever since I started Future Educators Talk. I just been more confident of just sharing my voice out with you guys, of hearing what I have to say, because my voice matters as to all of you guys, and each one of us, our stories matter too, and it needs to be heard as well. So that's why I created another podcast, you guys. So I am currently now on 3 podcasts: Future Educators Talk across the state, and this right here, Education Thoughts with Damian Anderson. So what is the purpose of this podcast here, of my new podcast? Well, I'm gonna tell you guys, this is a podcast, you guys. It is the exact same purpose as it was on my YouTube show. This is an education podcast, you guys, of where I will give y'all 100% real, honest, and authentic truth, you guys, in each of my episodes that I do, because I'm telling y'all what it is. I'm going to tell y'all what it is. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to be telling y'all what it is, blank, straight. I am not going to hide from what I'm talking about. I'm going to share it out with you guys so y'all can hear what I have to say on the particular topics that I discuss. And the topics that I'll be discussing, of course, this is an education show, is what's currently happening in the educational world, what had happened in the educational world, and also bringing in, also talking about some topics that I have previously talked about on Future Educators Talk. I will be revisiting some of those topics to you guys. And then also real life stories, you guys, that have happened to me personally that's related to education. Like for example, my college story, you guys. I'll be sharing that with you guys. How has that impacted my life? And so many other stories with you guys I'll be sharing with you all. And those I'll be doing a special episodes of those every Wednesday of what's either has happened in the educational world, real life stories that have happened to me, revisiting some of the topics of Future Educators Talk, and whatever. So those will be every Wednesday, special episodes every Wednesday. Now, also on this podcast, you guys, I will be interviewing some guests on my show. And I have some amazing, you guys, I have an amazing lineup of guests, you guys, that is coming on to my podcast. For one, I obviously had to bring on one of my good friends and co-hosts of Future Educators Talk, Andrew Fred. I just have to bring him on into my podcast. He's actually one of my first guests. Actually, you have other guests like Luther, Mr. Luther Funches. Some of y'all may be familiar with him on our podcast, Future Educators Talk. Devin Evans, Robert Hendrick III, Mr. Kwame Safra-Mensah. There's Samuel Lockridge, Jamarcus Littles, Jabril Jenkins, and so many other lineups, you guys. So many. So I cannot wait for you guys to check out those interviews of my amazing people that I have, amazing educators, you guys, of what they do, what are their projects, and so much more. So I can't wait for you guys to check out those interviews of these amazing people. And those interviews, you guys, of where I'm interviewing them will come out every Fridays, you guys. So every Wednesday will be educational topics. What's either happening in the educational world, we're visiting some moments, topics of Future Educators Talk, whatever. Those will be every Wednesdays. And then every Fridays is me personally interviewing my guests, great educators, amazing people. So I am so excited about this journey, you guys. You should be excited as well with me. So come join along with me on this journey of just me exploring the educational life. Because I am a future Black male math teacher in the making. So as my good friend Andrew Fred. Y'all see how I did that? Yes, I am a future educator, future teacher, because that is what I want to do. That is my passion so much. I love helping people. I love children so much. And I cannot wait until my journey begins of me starting as a teacher. I cannot wait. So I am preparing you guys with, first off, going to college, with these podcasts I got, talk about topics. I am just preparing myself to, when I get into that educational field as a teacher, I'll be so pumped up and ready. So I'm so excited about this journey. You should guys be as well. So this is the introduction of Educational Thoughts with Damian Anderson. And of course, you guys, to learn even more about me, go to our website. Go to all of my social media platforms of Educational Thoughts with Damian Anderson on Twitter and Instagram at EDU Thoughts Podcast or Pod. I can't remember. But those are where you can find even more information about me. And of course, I will do an episode where it's going to be all about me, about my life, and so on. So make sure you follow, you guys, my Twitter and my Instagram pages, you guys, to keep up with what's currently happening and who will be, what we talk about in upcoming episodes, who I will be interviewing next, and so much more. So please do that, and also subscribe, you guys, to this podcast here, Educational Thoughts with Damian Anderson, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at. I am currently available on, you can listen and watch on YouTube, the videos like here. You can watch on YouTube. You can listen on Breaker, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public. I'm available on all of those platforms, podcast platforms. So tune in with me, you guys. And make sure you join me on this journey of my new podcast, Educational Thoughts with Damian Anderson. I am Damian Anderson, and I will see y'all in Educational Thoughts with Damian Anderson.